A warm welcome and very good evening to all dear participants. The resource person of today's session, our respected Dr. Dushyant Tyagi sir. Today we are having our session on Microsoft Excel practical session 1. Now I would like to introduce today's resource person of the session, respected Dr. Dushyant Tyagi sir. Sir is currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Dr. Shakuntala Misra, National Rehabilitation University, Lucknow. Sir possesses 11 years of experience of educating in various institutions of repute like GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Institute of Technology and Science, Ghaziabad, International College of Financial Planning, New Delhi, and Lady Sri Ram College for Women, New Delhi. His research area is statistical quality control and computational statistics. Sir held the responsibility of convener and resource person for 3 AICTE-sponsored faculty development program on advanced data analysis through data analysis softwares. Sir delivered lectures in more than 25 research methodology workshops. Sir has 6 research paper publication in reputed international journals and 1 book. Sir has presented his research work in various national and international conferences and attended several seminars and faculty development programs of statistics and related areas. Sir was associated with many government and private universities, institutions as visiting faculty. Now, I would like to invite Sir to kindly lead today's session. Please, Sir, welcome, Sir.
Thanks, Amitji. Thanks a lot for introducing me and for giving me the opportunity to interacting with so many of medical professionals. And I thanks to the organizers for inviting me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thanks. So today the responsibility given to me is to discuss about the Excel, Microsoft Excel. So I think this is a very long workshop, 3 months certificate course is there, and the participant have learned a lot of statistical tools. But how can we calculate? I think till now they have discussed, they have learned how to calculate all the statistical tools, all the statistics parameters with the help of different formulas, mathematical formulas, and what is the application, and where the particular tool is appropriate, isn't it? In statistics nowadays, when we are using the different software for analysis, it is very easy to calculate or to apply the tool, but it is very hard to know that which tool is appropriate in which condition and for which objective, and what is the interpretation of the results. So till now you have learned how to, yeah, which tool is appropriate in which technique and what is the objective of a particular tool and what we get with the help of different tools. Today we will discuss how we calculate it with the help of Microsoft Excel and how we interpret the result. I will try to discuss that also. So let me share my screen first. Is my screen is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
The
Visible now.
screen is visible. Okay, that's good. So this is the, I will start from starting only. I know that maximum of you know what's the Excel and you have done the analysis with the help of Excel, but it's my duty to start with the starting only. This is the Excel spreadsheet, and here we are having the different tabs. So sheet 1, sheet 2, and so on. We can add different tabs in this, and we can change the name of different tabs also. That means in one tab we can put data, in other tab we can put metadata, third analysis, results, and so on. Here this is the Excel spreadsheet, and in this some rows and columns are there. In each row we put the responses of each, we can say, patient, respondent, or case. We say case also. So in each row. That means one case, one row, and one variable, one column. For each variable, for each particular object, one column is there, and for each case, one row is there. And one this cell, for each value, for each observation, cells are there, and the notation of cell is the combination of column notation as well as row notation. That means the notation of this cell is D2, which you can see in the in this box also, where my cursor is there. That D2 is there. That means we are working on D2 cell. Here we are working on F11 G11 cell. Here we are working on I9. So these are the cells. So we use cell name also when we do our calculation. Here, when we do our calculation in the some rows or columns, then this is the selection of C3 to G6. C3 to G6. Now, this is your menu bar. This is a toolbar. We are having some menu bar, that is home, insert. When we have to insert some chart, we have to insert the table, we have to use any. Then page layout, as we do in Microsoft Office, the same thing is in Microsoft Excel. Then formulas are there. Data is there. When we have to work on data set, we use this data tab. Then review and then view. We are not going to discuss much about this menu bar because we have to discuss the statistical analysis of the data. Okay. So first of all, if we want to enter the data set, we write here serial number. That means case number. Then the first variable, the heading of the name of the variable we put in the first row. First is name. Then we can say age. Then BP, glucose, your sugar, we can say sugar level, and so on. So when we insert the data, so we have to write serial number 1, 2, 3, 4. So write 1 here, 2 here. Then what we want to tell to you here, that if one we have typed 1 here and 2 here, and if we select both the cell all together, that means by default they have seen that in second row we have added 1 in the first row. That means the value in A3 we have added 1 in the value in A2. When we put our cursor on the right down corner and we drag our cursor, what we will do, the formula will be copied. यहाँ पर आपका formula copy हो रहा है. Okay, so here we are copying the formula, and what's the formula here? 2, 3, 4. That means 1 plus 1. 1 plus 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus. If we put in the multiple of 5, if we put two values in a multiple of 5, 5 and 10, and then we select both the values and we drag this point, then we will get the values multiple of 5. Okay, if we are putting only 5 here and we putting our cursor on the down right corner and we drag our cursor, then what we are getting here, the same value, because it is a single value which we have put it and we are copying. So we are not copying any formula here. That's why it is single value. So here we want to put the 1, 2, 3 serial number. Then we may put the name. And we type the name, then age, then BP, sugar, and so on. So in this way we can put our values here. Now, if we want, if we want to do any calculation, that means we are having fasting sugar, and normal sugar, yeah, random sugar. If we are having two values, 120, 125, first of all, I am telling you the starting how we start the inserting the data set in our Excel file and how we do the simple calculation. Then 122, then 128, 126, 120, and so on. Yeah. Now we are having the random sugar and the fasting sugar. If we want to check the difference of these two, then what we have to do, that means if we have to do any calculation, if we want to use the Excel sheet as a calculator, as a simple calculator, so we will select a cell where we want to we want to write the answer of the our calculation. Then we will type equal to sign, right, equal to sign here. Then we may do any calculation, any mathematical calculation here. That means if we want to find out the difference of these two values, that means random sugar minus fasting, what is the how much the values is increase or how much the difference is between these two values. So we will sell, what we will do, either we want to put the write the formula here, that means this value minus this value. So click on this value, F2 is there, then minus, either click on this value, is this cell, that is E2, or type E2. Now here I will type E2. That means we have inserted the formula, that is F2 minus E2. Then we click enter, we will get the result. Now we have to copy this formula for the all other cells below ones. So what we will do here, we will put our cursor here and double click on this cursor. When we will double click on this cursor, the formula will be copied in the all the cells below this, and you will see there, here the formula is copied. Clear? So this is how we can do our calculation. We may multiply anything, we may add anything, we can do like this. Yeah, we may calculate the percentage. That means any mathematical formula we can write here and we will get the value. If sometimes what happens, we have to add some a particular value in a particular variable. That means we have collected the data for weight, and the weight machine is wrong due to some technical fault. It is weighting 2 kg lesser, or when we are taking the sugar measurement, due to some technical fault, it is calculating 5 points lesser. That means we want to add in our data set for a particular variable 5 point in each all the values. Okay, so what we will do here, we will type 5 here, we will copy this value, that is 5, in this cell. We have copied this 5. Now if we want to add this 5 in all the cells, what we will do, we copy all the cells, we select all the cell, right click your cursor. If you want to learn all the things, you may do with me. That means if you are doing hands-on experience practice, you are doing with me only, you will get more. Now when we will click right click on this, you will get this options, this drop down. Then click on paste spatial. As you will click on paste spatial, you will get a new dialog box. In this dialog box, what you want, if you want to add this value, you click add and click then OK. If you want to subtract, then click on subtract. If you want to multiply, then select multiply. If you want to divide, then you may divide, click on divide. So we want to add this 5 in all the values, so select 5, then click OK. See here, 5 is added in all the values, then and the difference is also changed. Okay, 5 this the here the difference automatically we can see in the this formulas also, because as we will change these values, this value will automatically change because we have applied the formula. We have not pasted these values. So if we don't want to change this value, अगर आपको ये values change नहीं करनी, that means a value which you have a variable value which you have calculated with the help of any formula, and you don't want to change these values, that means if the we can say prior knowledge is changed and you don't want to change the value of this particular variable, so what you can do, copy all these values, select all these values. See here, now in this formula fx formula bar, we can say this formula is f2 minus e2. Here the formula is f4 minus e4. Here the formula is f6 minus e6. So select all these values. Got it? Select all the values, copy all these values. Then what you have to do? We have to save these values as a values, not as a formula. So paste special. Then we will say we want to paste only values, not formula. So we will select this values option here. Then okay. So what we are getting here? Here we are values are there. Now if we change any of these values, the value on this column is not changed. The difference values are will not change. Got it? It is the important function when we 126 in this. Yeah. Got it? Now, today we will discuss one data set. This is the data set which we are going to discuss today. Here, this data set is collected from one exercise, treadmill exercise, and 44 normal persons done this treadmill exercise for certain duration, 706 second we can say, and these are the seconds duration of which for the duration they have done the treadmill exercise, and these are the VO2 maximum values, these are the heart rates, and these are the we can say in morning, that means the exercise is done in two times, in morning shift and in evening time. So for both the shifts, we have collected the data, their duration, VO2 maximum and heart rates, and in evening shift duration, VO2 maximum and heart rate. So the name for the duration for the in morning shift, we have put it the duration, and in evening shift, the duration variable name is duration 1. In the same way, VO2 maximum 1 and heart rate 1. So we have noted down the age also of the mm, persons, respondents, height and weight, and from which location they belongs. Now, this data we have collected. So here we are having the data on only 44 respondents. And after collecting any data, when you collect the data for any research, for any, we can say, project, first of all, our objective is to summarize the data. That means if the raw data is there and you put it in at your seniors, you mail the seniors laptop, or you put this is the data for any presentation, no one will understand that what the data is saying. So what is the use of statistics? Convert the data into meaningful information. यानी कि हमें इसे meaningful information में convert करना है, जिससे कि इसे कुछ हम gain कर सकें, इसे decision making ले सकें, कुछ decision कर सकें, we can take decisions. So first of all, before starting the data analysis, you should know what's each and every variable is saying, what's the interpretation of each and every variable. That is known as metadata. That means आपको हर variables का explanation, you should know the explanation of each and every variable. So here we are having the name, gender. So gender is we are having the responses female and male. So this data, this variable is on which scale? Nominal scale, interval scale, ordinal ratio. Please tell me on your mailbox. what is the scale in which the gender data is collected, and what's the scale in which the duration data is collected, and what is the scale on which location data is collected. Yes.
Please interact through the chat box.
Yes, chat box. I think where is the chat box here? Sure.
Dr. Sarai Kore wrote gender and location nominal.
Gender and
Location nominal.
gender and location nominal. Yes, good. Gender and location is nominal, and all others are ratio scale. Duration, VO2 maximum, heart rates, duration. These all are on nominal scale. So these, as all are in nominal scale, so these two are in nominal scale. So what we do, first of all, what we have to do, as we have typed the raw data, as we inserted the raw data in our Excel sheet, first thing is that we have to summarize the data. That means we have to make their frequency table. If it is nominal data or ordinal data, we make discrete frequency distribution. If it is the data is collected on ratio scale, then we make the continuous frequency distribution table. Continuous frequency distribution table and discrete frequency distribution table. So to make the discrete frequency distribution or frequency distribution table, what we will do, we will select all these columns. Initially, we will select all these columns. That means we want to work on all these columns. We want to make the tables for all these columns. Then click on insert. First, select all the columns on which you want to analyze or you want to apply any tool. Then click on insert and then click on pivot table. Then click on pivot table. After clicking on pivot table, you will get a new this dialog box. And here he is asking that we have collected the sheet one. We have collected which data we have selected on sheet one from C column to M column. Complete columns we have selected. Then where you want the plot the pivot table, a new worksheet or existing worksheet. So we want the in the results on new worksheet. So we have selected the new worksheet. Then click OK. As you will click OK, you will get this type of pivot table field on the right hand side corner side. So all variables are listed in this list. Now what we want to know, we want to know that gender table, that how many males and how many females are there. So select this variable and put it in the, drag it to the row. That means this variable we want to put in the row. Here the blank is there. Why this blank is there? 1 minute. We have selected the complete data. We are deleting this sheet. Again, we are selecting the data. Select only the data set, not blanks, because we have selected the complete rows. That's why blanks are there. Now we are selecting only this. So insert pivot table. Okay. Gender in row. Now we are getting only the two options are there. That means females are there and male are there. Now we want to know that how many females are there and how many males are there in our data set. So select this gender again and put it in summation value. Summation value. So here count of the gender is there. If you want to change this, click on this drop down point, this, then value field setting. That means in this value field setting, what you are wanting, count, sum, count, average, maximum, minimum. product, count, number, standard deviation. That means which value you want to put in here in the table. You can select any value. Okay. So here this is the table which you are getting, that in our data set, how many females are there? 22 females are there. How many males are there? 22 males are there. And the total number is 44. We can use this table anywhere, and this is known as discrete frequency distribution table. Now, if we want to check the that that from females, how many belongs from rural background, how many belongs from urban background. So what we can do, we can make cross tabulation here, or we can say contingency table. And what is contingency or cross tabulation here? When we are preparing the frequency table for two variables in one table. जब आप दो variables को एक ही table में frequency दिखाना चाहते हैं, then it is known as cross tabulation. So we want to show location here. So location, where we will put location, when we put the when we will make the cross tabulation, one variable we put it in the row and the other variable we put it in the column. So we put column in this location in column, and we will get this rural, semi-urban, and urban, and grand total is there. That means what we are getting here, that nine from the 22 females, 9 females belongs from rural background, and 33 females belongs from urban background, and no females belongs from semi-urban background. Then from the out of 22 males, 9 males belongs to a rural background, and 13 males belong from the semi-urban background, and no urban belongs from the no male belongs from the urban background location. So this is known as cross tabulation. If we want to put any other variable, any, we can say, nominal variable in this row wise, if we want to categorize this here, if weight, height, age, all these are data collected on ratio scale. That's why we cannot put this variable in the row. Now if we want to find out the frequency distribution of duration, then what we will do here, we will put the duration in row wise. In row, we have put it the duration in this values, and here the see which value it is showing to you. It is showing the sum of the duration. That means here 3 respondents are there whose duration is 200 seconds. No, 600 seconds. So because they are 3, that's why the sum becomes 1800. Okay. But this is our objective? We want this type of table? No, we don't want this type of table. We want the class interval. That means x का duration का हमें class interval चाहिए और उसकी frequency चाहिए. That is known as continuous frequency distribution. So first of all, because we want the frequency, that means we want the counts. So what we will do here, we will click on this arrow sign, drop down sign, click on this drop down sign, then click on value field setting, and after clicking on value field setting, select the count option. See here, this is important point. First we will click on this drop down sign, then value field setting, and then we will select the count option here, then okay. So what we are getting here, count, and here we are getting 3 count. But it is also not useful for us to show in any table, to show any project report, because one frequency, there are 44 observations are there, and table is showing you 41. 41 cells are there. See here, how many cells are there? If you want to check how many cells are there in our data set, or to know any information about any row or any column, we can select that particular values and you will get the result here. Average is this, count is 42, and sum is this. Okay. We may find out more options from here. We may find out maximum options, minimum, numerical counts here. Okay. So average is this 44, two counts are there, 42 counts, but all are numerical counts. That's why numerical count is 42. Minimum is this, maximum is this, and sum is this. We want to convert this data into, this is discrete frequency distribution, into continuous frequency distribution. So to convert the data into continuous frequency distribution, what we will do, we will click on any cell. In this row, we will click on any cell, this in this column. Okay. And then click on, right click on this. As you will right click, you will get a list of options are there. And one option is group. This is important, please see there. Click any cell of this column, right click your cursor, you will get the list of options, then we will select group. In this group, the starting value is there, the ending value is there, and the class interval is there. You may change according to you. That means if we want to change it, that we want a starting value 470, we want the last value 900, or we can say we will delete the last value and we want the difference by 100. Okay, we have to put two values in this, third it will calculate by default. So okay, so we will put the value, last value, if we putting the 100 options and the maximum value is 970, then we have to put it, the last value is 1070. 1070, okay. And this is the continuous frequency distribution table. That means in our data set 11 values are there whose uh, 11 durations are there whose values is lying between 470 to 569. 20 values are there, 20 observations are there whose values is lying between 570 to 669. 7 values are there whose values is lying between 670 to 769, and so on. What if we want now if we want to show this graphically, what we will do, we will select this data set. After selecting this data set, click on insert, then you can click on pivot chart also, and you will get the chart here. Okay, this is the chart. Or you can click here, which chart you want, you may plot with this. If you want line chart, you may plot line chart here of frequency. If you want column chart, you may select column chart here. If you want horizontal bar chart, you may click on horizontal bar chart. Okay. So here, if you want column chart for each bar, then we will click like this. Okay, you will get this. These are the counts. That means from 470 to 569. This the total observations are 11, and so on. Now, if we want to mm, uh, do some editing on this chart, what we will do, we will double click on this chart. As we double click on this chart, we will get this dialog box. Format chart area. So if fill, automatic filled है. If we want no fill, so no fill is there. Pattern fill, pattern fill is there. That means background आपको कैसी चाहिए. Gradient fill is there. Solid fill is there. No fill is this. Okay. Automatic is this. If you want shadow, this shadow, size, blur, angle. If you want to change the angle, you can change the angle. If you want to change the distance, you can change the distance. Size. See here, if you want to put the values here, add data level, add data level. So the values are there. That means the value of this column is 11, the values of this column is 20, the values of this column is 7, and so on. So we can do editing with the help of format data series. If we want to change the color of this particular bar, we can use this. If you want red bar in this, if you want fill, if you want to yellow this, then put it, select yellow, and so on. That means in this way, we can edit the complete chart. Okay. Yeah. Just now we have prepared see here, the last cross tabulation. We will use the cross tabulation here again. Okay. Gender and location. This is a cross tabulation. Now, if we want to show this with the help of multiple bar chart, then click on insert, then click this stacked column and OK. See here, what is showing to you that total females are there. This count is there. Total females and total males. This one from rural background. See here, on both the categories, 9 nines are from rural background, and mm, this 13 are from here from urban background. Females are from urban background, and males are from semi-urban background. If we want to put the values here, so click on this particular bar, right click, add data labels, add data labels. We will get the data labels here. Okay. Add data labels, we are getting the data label. If you want to color the change the color, you may do that also. Right click on this, click on fill. We don't like this green color, we like some other color. If we want this we can say orange color, this, so it is change. So accordingly you can edit the chart, you can make the chart appearance smart, more attractive. So you may do like this. If you want if your data is like this, see, only one variable, the discrete frequency distribution is there, that means this data set is there, and you want to plot pie chart for this, select the data set, then insert, then pie chart. This is simple chart. This is 3D pie chart. So this is 3D pie chart. And if you want to change the fill, you can use the fill. If you want to do data at the data level, you can add the data level. So in this way, you can make your convert your data into frequency distribution. So with the help of frequency, when you convert the data into frequency distribution, you are able to summarize the data. आप अपने डेटा को एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं कि कितना मीन है, कितना स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन है, सी कितनी पर्टिकुलर किस कैटेगरी के कितने रेस्पोंडेंट हैं, वो सब आप कर सकते हैं. Here, as we want to know that gender we have put it in the column, and duration we have put it in the row, and we want to know the male, uh, the mean duration or we can say a number of duration or mean duration for female and for male category. What we will put here, we will put the duration here, duration in this same value. These are the counts are there. If we want to calculate mean for this, click on value level and say average. We want average here. So in this category the average is 514. In this category the average is this 536. That means in this category the male average is 536 and the female average is 514.5. In the second category the female average is 614 second and the male average is 602. Okay. In this way we can calculate the average duration on in different categories. If we want total, that means female duration on treadmill is on an average is 650 seconds and on an average male duration is 643.90 seconds. So we may calculate the mean here, we may put the mean here. If we want to put the standard deviation here, we may select the standard deviation, click OK. So here the standard deviation is there. So why they are not showing you the standard deviation? Because in this category only one or two values are there or constant values are there. So it is not showing you the standard deviation. आप एक वैल्यू का standard deviation नहीं निकाल सकते. So in this way we can summarize our data. We can make the data discrete frequency distribution, continuous frequency distribution. We can show our data graphically, pie chart, bar chart, stacked bar chart, and so on. Now here we are having the data set of duration, VO2 maximum, this one, and age, height, and weight. Now with the help of height and weight, I think BMI we can calculate. We can calculate BMI. What is the formula of BMI? Who will tell me the formula of BMI? Any one of you can tell me the formula of BMI? Yes. Raise your hand. I think you all are muted by the organizers.
Please raise
Okay.
your hand. I will send you the unmute request. If anyone know, then please raise your hand.
Raise your hand. All the part. If you want to speak or you want to reply, please raise your hand. Tell me the formula of BMI. Yes. No, body. Yes. Weight upon meter square. Good. 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 Nakul has replied that weight upon height in square and it should be in meter. Good. So here, if we want to calculate the BMI here, what we will do, we will put equal to sign here, then weight, the location of first weight, then divide sign, and height, this is in centimeter. And we, as in the formula, just now the participant told me that it should be in meter. So what we have to do here, we have to divide it by 100. So this value divide by 100, that means the weight height which is given in centimeter we have converted into meter, and then square of this. So what we are getting here, we are getting BMI here. So these, in this way we can calculate the BMI for each respondent. Now we may put that if this BMI belongs from low income, sorry, low weight, high weight, obesity, and so on, normal. We can definitely in different categories we can put the BMI. So in this way we can calculate each things. Now what we can do, more things find out with the help of this data. What you want to find out with the help of this data? Please tell me on the chat box. आप क्या फाइंड करना चाहते हैं? बाकी इस डेटा से कुछ और फाइंड कर सकते हैं आप? Yes. If you are having this type of data set, can you find some more things? बहुत सारी स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल आपने पढ़े हैं पिछले 3 months में, कुछ और फाइंड करना चाहेंगे आप? Reply in chat box. Height according to weight. Height according to weight, that means, yes. Tell me what you want to find out. Standard deviation of what? Dr. Ashay, standard deviation of what? I am not asking now I am not asking the formula of BMI. I am asking only what you more want to calculate from this. आप और क्या कैलकुलेट करना चाहते हैं इस डेटा से? क्या कर सकते हैं? अभी तक 2 महीने में आपने क्या पढ़ा है कि इससे जब आपका स्केल डेटा हो, बाइवेरिएट डेटा है, तब आप और क्या कैलकुलेट कर पाएंगे? Which statistical tool you can apply here? Heart rates and with age. What? Dr. Ranjendra, heart rate with age. What you want to find out? Cross tabulation or any other thing? Total effect. I am not getting. Yes. When we are having this scale data and average heart rate versus age, not average heart rate versus age, we can find out, or we can may say that for this type of data we can find out the correlation coefficient. That means, is the duration and VO2 maximum is correlated to each other or not? Is the duration and heart rates are correlated to each other or not? Is the duration and is the height or weight and duration is related to each other or not? Is the weight and heart rate is related to each other or not? That means here we can find out the correlation coefficient. Okay, so we put these two columns in starting only. Okay, we have selected these two columns, cut these two columns, and we have put it here in duration. Insert cursor. That means this is the name, gender, height, weight, duration, VO2 maximum, heart rate, and so on. Age also we have cut age and put in starting age and okay. Now and BMI, we are having BMI also. We may check the BMI relation also. Cut this. Now when we will cut this and we will put here, is we will get some change or not? When we will put insert cell, what we are getting here? We are getting BMI because it is showing you the formula of this. Now, what you want from this, you want to find out the correlation between these scale variable. That is, BMI is affecting the VO2 maximum or not, heart rates or not, is age is affecting these three things or not, is height is affecting these three or not, is weight is affecting these three or not. So we have to find out the correlation coefficient. What is the correlation coefficient? Degree of association between two or more variables. That means that two variables are associated to each other or not. Simultaneous variation in two or more variables. So here what we will do, we will click on data option and check that you are getting data analysis or not. If you are not getting this data analysis option here, you have to click on file. After clicking on file, you have to click on option. As you will click on option, you will get this new dialog box. In this dialog box, click on add in. After clicking on add in, click on go, and in this go, select analysis tool pack here, and then click on OK. Then you will get this data analysis tool pack here. After getting this data analysis tool pack, click on this data analysis tool pack and see here many options are there. That means n over single factor, n over two factor with replication, n over two factors without replication, correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics. So first of all, what we will find initially what we have to calculate here. Initially, we have to find out the mean, median, skewness, kurtosis. That means we want to know the shape of the distribution. So first of all, we will select the descriptive statistics, then click OK, then input range. For which variables you want to calculate the descriptive statistics? We want to calculate the descriptive statistics for age, height, weight, duration, VO2 maximum, and heart rate. Select all the variables all together, and after selecting these all variables, that means we have selected the values, the E1 from cell E1 to J45. Then in this dialog box, one option is there that label in first row is in your selected data. In first row, labels are there. That means variable names are there. Yes, variable names are there. So we will select this. Now they are asking that output range, you want the output in this sheet only or in different sheet. So we want the output in different sheet. That means new worksheet we want. So we have selected new worksheet. And they are asking that your data set is grouped by rows or column. So our data set is grouped by column. That means we have given the values on each variable in one column. Now click OK. Okay, we have not chosen the statistical option here. That which option what we want. We want summary statistics. You don't want k. If we want the kth largest variable and then 10th largest variable, first largest variable, we may choose here. If we want confidence level for mean, we may select this. Then click OK. So here we are getting the descriptive statistics for each variable. Select this. Click here. It will be 11. Now here this is age. The mean age is this, standard error is this, median is this, mode is this, and so on. All the things are there. Standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness. So mean is the single value which represent the complete data. That means we can say around 47. All the observations are there. And skewness and kurtosis tells you that is your data set is symmetrical or not. Skewness tells you about the symmetry of the data, and kurtosis tells you about the peakness of the data. So here our skewness is 0.105. That means the data is not highly skewed, not skewed, because it is near zero. That means the data is symmetrical. Okay, and the kurtosis is 1.4. That means somehow it is leptokurtic. But see here, it is the for the height, the data is the skewness is minus 0.37. That means it is approximately symmetrical, and kurtosis is also near but zero. That means it is normally distributed, approximately normally distributed. Okay, so you are getting the mean height, mean of weight, mean of duration, VO2 maximum mean, heart rate means, and so on. That means with the on a single click, you are getting all summary statistics, all univariate analysis. You can do all univariate analysis on a single click. आपने जैसे ही डेटा एनालिसिस क्लिक करके descriptive statistics select किया, range आपने दी, and you are getting here, you are getting this table. Okay. Now, the second thing what we want to calculate, we want to calculate the correlation between all these values. So, what we will do here, we will click on data analysis, then we will select correlation, then correlation, we click on this OK button. Now, input range. So, we want to find out the correlation between all these things. Still here. So the range is from D1 to J45. All the variables are in column. That means our variables are grouped by columns. Labels in the first row is there. Then OK. So here, what we are getting here? See, this is our correlation table we are getting here. That means this is BMI from, if we calculate the correlation with the same variable, then the correlation will be 1. And the correlation between age and BMI is 0.24. That means it is slightly positively correlated. Got it? Height and BMI, it is nearby zero. That means we can say it is not correlated, but with weight, it is highly positively correlated. If weight is, see here, BMI is correlated to weight only because weight upon height. So if the weight is very higher, it is highly positively correlated. BMI is highly positively correlated with weight. It is 0.6647. What is the range of correlation coefficient? Tell me the range of correlation coefficient quickly. Range of correlation coefficient. Not 0 to 1. It is -1 to 1. It is -1 to 1. That's good. So here the range is -1 to 1. And so it is more than 0.5, or we can say it is highly correlated, positively correlated. And duration is BMI, negatively correlated. That means if the BMI is high, then the duration is lesser. Okay, जिनका BMI ज्यादा है वो कम देर तक BMI ट्रेडमिल पर एक्सरसाइज कर पा रहे हैं. जिनका BMI ज्यादा है उनका VO2 मैक्सिमम भी कम है. And age is affecting all the things. With negative correlation is there with age, and height, positive correlation is there with weight, duration, VO2 maximum, and heart rate. That means if the height is higher, then all the things, weight is also higher. Weight भी पड़ेगा. अगर height है ज़्यादा है तो weight भी ज़्यादा है. Duration, वो ज़्यादा देर तक आपको एक्सरसाइज भी कर पा रहे हैं. ठीक है. VO2 maximum is also greater, बढ़ रहा है. ठीक है. That means simultaneous variation in both the variables. If the height is increasing, then all the variables are increasing significantly, but heart rate is not increasing significantly because it is near to zero. So we calculate, tomorrow we will discuss testing of hypothesis with the help of Excel. Then we will discuss how we check that we are saying that it is significantly correlated, it is not significantly correlated. So in the next session on Monday, we will discuss total parametric testing of hypothesis, also and non-parametric testing of hypothesis, in which we will discuss how we can find out, if we can test that this correlation is significant or not. So here we can see that with the weight, the correlation is negatively correlated but not significant. All the values are negative but nearby zero, so we can say they are not significant. But duration, the correlation coefficient between duration and VO2 maximum is very high, 0.89, maximum correlation between these two variables. If the duration is higher, that means if you are spending more time on treadmill, your VO2 maximum level will also increase and your heart rate will also increase. That means your heart rate and VO2 maximum is depending on duration. Okay, so uh, I think today I should discuss till now here only, and tomorrow we will discuss. That means on Monday we will discuss the parametric test, non-parametric test, and regression analysis. Yeah. So these things we will discuss on Monday. These three things, and by Excel only. And if there is any query, you may ask, please. Please, those who will raise their hand, please unmute them.
Thank you so much, sir, for very amazing session. Dr. Harini, please ask your query.
Sir, namaste, sir. I
Namaskar,
wanted to
ma'am.
know the skewness and kurtosis. To what level it
Yes.
has to change by which we will tell that the data is not normally distributed? If
Okay.
you told it is nearer to zero, so it is normally distributed.
Yes.
Beyond what
If
level?
yes, yes. Listen here. In skewness and kurtosis, when we calculate skewness, when we calculate kurtosis, correlation, regression coefficient, with the help of testing of hypothesis, we check that is this correlation, skewness and kurtosis are significant or not. That means we take a null hypothesis that H naught equals to skewness equals to zero, यानी कि skewness zero है, significant नहीं है, और या फिर kurtosis equals to zero. And for that we calculate the Z value. And what is the formula of Z value? Z equals to skewness value minus 0 divided by standard error of skewness. So here we have to calculate the standard error also, and when we divide the value of skewness and kurtosis with the corresponding standard error, then we will get the Z value. If this Z value is absolute Z value is greater than 1.96, then we said that the values are skewness or kurtosis are significant at 5% level of significance. So for that we have to test there the null hypothesis that skewness equals to 0 and kurtosis equals to 0.
Okay, sir. Is there any test within this Excel that which will calculate
Yes, yes,
this?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we will discuss it tomorrow, because tomorrow we will
Yes,
discuss
sir.
the testing of hypothesis. In that we
Okay,
will
sir.
discuss.
Okay,
That
sir.
will be
Thank
a
you.
sequence, in
Okay.
sequence.
Yes.
Any other query?
Dr. Rajkumar, please unmute yourself.
If any,
Is there any query? Then please write either in chat box or simply raise your hand so I can send you the unmute request. We are not getting any queries. I hope that all queries are answered. And if there is any query, then please write your query. And on Monday, we have one more session with sir.
yes, if there any query, you may ask on Monday also. But if any query, you may ask today only. If
Yes,
there is
yes.
any query in today's session, you may ask. I am here only for next 1 or 2 minutes. Any one of you. Okay. And I will suggest that for any data, try all these things, and your confidence level will be built up when you will do yourself. आप कितने भी सेशन अटेंड कर लीजिए, जब तक आप खुद से नहीं करेंगे नहीं हो पाएगा. I think, sir, no queries there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, how to decide to select either Excel sheet or someone is asking that how to listen here. Excel is the basic statistical tool, and they are SPSS is there, R is there, Python is there. You may go. If you have to do any basic statistics, you may opt Excel only. Okay. Or in Excel also we may do maximum things we may do in on Excel. Okay, and if you want to do multiple response surface and missing data analysis, you may use SPSS. Both are approximately same thing. SPSS, in some SPSS, some tools are more in compared to Excel, but maximum tools which we need for our general research, Excel is there, no issue. But to work on SPSS also, you should know Excel.
Yes, definitely, sir.
How do validation of the data using Excel? Okay, so it is a complete topic of validation. I think there will be not so much time to discuss validation, but I will try to elaborate this validation also on Monday, because we cannot discuss it in 1 or 2 minutes. It will take minimum 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes, definitely, sir. Now I hope all queries are answered for today's session, and on
Okay.
Monday we again meet with sir with few new sessions on Excel. And Dr. Anjali, for SPSS, we have one more session on 29th and 13th. On for SPSS related queries, you may ask on that days. So now, on the behalf of Institute of Applied Statistics and National Institute of Ayurveda Jaipur, we convey our sincere thanks to all the participants for participation in today's session and making session very interactive with the queries. On the next session will be on Monday. Tomorrow there is no session, and on Monday we have one more session delivered by our respected Dr. Dushyant Tyagi, sir.
And Monday I will discuss, I told you initially that testing of hypothesis, parametric test and non-parametric test with the help of SPSS. Oh, not SPSS, with the help of Excel. Sorry, with the help of Excel. Okay.
Yes.
So and how we can check the significance of skewness, kurtosis, correlation coefficient, and regression. Regression analysis will be also discussed on Monday. Okay.
Okay. Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you for very amazing and session and very interactive query session.
Okay, thanks a lot for all participants.
Thank you. Thank you. This is the end of today's session. We again met on Monday at 6 p.m. sharp. Please join. Thank you so much.